In today's tutorial, let's do the Lush Life blanket. This is featuring Bernat Blanket, one of the most popular yarns that you'll see in the stores today. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the Lush Life blanket just like you see here. This is a really easy pattern, and today I'm going to show you the secrets on how to be able to change the size. Of course, if you change the size, then you have to change the yarn quantities to match as well. You're going to need a size N 10mm crochet hook today, and if you want to do the blanket as you see here, you're going to need 3 balls of 2 colors. So you're going to need 3 balls of this one here. This is silver steel. This is one of the most popular colors that are out there, and then you're also going to need vintage white. So you need 3 balls of each in order to complete the size, and this will give you approximate size of 52 inches by 60 inches. So let me tell you the secrets on how to be able to change the size of this afghan. So if you'd like to change the size of this afghan, it's all in the matter of the first row. Okay, so it's about making the chain the right size and then doing the first row. So what you're going to notice here in this particular pattern, I've drawn a really rough diagram in order to figure this out for myself, is that we're going to have what is called front post trebles come down and come down 2 rows below and wrap around, and this is what's creating the bump that comes out of the pattern. But what you're going to notice is that we're going to do then another single crochet row, and the next time we do it, it's going to be in between the other 2 bumps that you see. Okay, so what we have to keep in mind is that the starting row has to compensate in order to keep these bumps looking consistent, and then the other bumps then looking like they're coming down. So the next time that we do the bumps after this is that they'll be back to where these ones are here, down here. So there's a repeat pattern that is really quick and easy, and it's just a matter of doing it. So what is the secret in order to change the size? You must keep these in groups of 2. So when you go to crochet, you can go 1 2 1 2 1 2, and once you're satisfied with the length of the chain, just add 3 at the end, and this will give you an odd count of these posts that are in the first row in order to make this happen. If you end up with an even number like 10 or 12 or whatever whatever an even number is then what's gonna happen is that these particular trebles here will not work because they will not sit properly in the pattern. So without further ado, let's grab our yarn. I'm gonna be using Bernat Blanket today. I'm gonna use a solid color in order to show you this technique. So let's begin, and I'm gonna create a slip knot, and I'm using my size N 10mm crochet hook today. So to do the size, you can either just follow the directions of chaining 67 if you exactly want to meet what you want to see on the pattern, or you can just do what I'm about to do. So I'm going to chain in sets of 2. So remember, the starting one never counts as 1. So we have 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. And when you get to the size length that you want, 1 and 2, you can just stop. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So as I said in the intro there, so we need to add an extra 3 at the very end of this in order to keep the balance. So once you're satisfied with the length and you've done your 1 2 1 2 1 2, just add 3. So 1 2 and 3, and now you're good to go for row number 1. So row number 1, we're gonna count back to the 4th chain from the hook. So just look underneath. So 1 2 3, go to the 4th, turn it around, get the back hump only of the stitch, just wrap the hook, and you're gonna double crochet into that stitch only. Once you get to the back hump anyway, it's gonna turn the chain over, so the rest of them will be exposed right in front of you. You're going to double crochet yourself across the chain into the back hump only. That is actually a technical word, so some people think it's a fake word, but it is also called what is it, a back loop as well, could be called that. I like calling it the hump because it's like the hump of a reptile if you're thinking about it from that perspective. So you're just gonna double crochet yourself all the way across. Look how big this already is compared to my hand. So you can see an afghan of this size is going to go relatively quickly because it just whips up really cool. So continue to double crochet yourself all the way across your chain. So I'm all the way at the end of the chain. What I want you to do before you do anything further, especially if you've altered the size of your pattern, I want you to count these posts, and remember to count this first chain 1 as a post as well, and you should get an odd number. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 and 13. So 13 is an odd number. If you have an even number, you need to stop right now and just do a correction before you continue, because this pattern will not work if you have an even number of these posts. Let's move up to row number 2. Turning our work, let's go for row number 2. So we're just gonna chain up 1 to begin, and we're gonna put 1 single crochet in each one of the double crochets going all the way across. So this single crochet row is every other row in this pattern. Okay, so rows number 3 and 5 are slightly different from each other, but row number 2, which is this one, is repeated between each one of them in order to give it distance, in order to have that really cool look that you see in the pattern. So just single crochet yourself all the way across your row, and I'll meet you at the end of this row, which is just a few moments for me. I might as well leave the video on. Here we go. And remember to get that very last chain. So I got 2 stitches left. Do not forget this final chain. A lot of people stop early, so they end up with a triangle afghan. Just goes in the top of the chain. So don't go into a space, go right into the top of the chain like so. If you go into the space right at the end, what's gonna happen, it's gonna leave a massive hole, so make sure you go right into the chain itself. So let's turn and work, and let's review number 3, and this is going to be repeated every time we're coming back to this particular row. So let's begin row number 3. So the third row is going to repeat itself over and over and over, but what we're gonna do is that we're gonna repeat row number 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so this is number 2 here. So we're going to do number 3 now. So we're gonna chain up chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet. Now we're going to start immediately and coming back down to the other double crochet. So skip right over this single crochet, and you're going to do a front post treble. So to do a treble, you wrap the hook twice, and then coming into the side of the post over, wrap the hook, pull through, then wrap and pull through 2, 2 and 2, and this is what gives it the big lump look. So you're going to skip that same stitch that's in behind, which is right here, and you're going to double crochet into the next one just like that. Okay, so we're going to do it again. So a front post treble, we're gonna skip the next double crochet down here and go to the next one over. So wrap the hook twice, and you're going every other one, if you can just remember to do that. So okay, so on the top here you're going to skip over the one that you would have went into and just double crochet into the next. So just remember that the front post treble crochet is blocking a certain view. So if you look at it from behind, you can see that you skipped a stitch and skipped a stitch. So let's do it again. So front post treble, so just wrap the hook twice, skip the next one, go to the second one over, and remember that is counting as that one in the back, so just skip that one and go to the next one over for a double crochet. Okay, and you're going to go all the way across using the same technique. It's just every other one is a front post treble. Okay, and you will get the hang of it really quick, and you can see that this is gonna grow really quickly. So the trick to having it as being an odd number right in the beginning is that you need these to be sitting in the proper location. So you will notice that in row number 3 the second one was the front post treble, so this means that the second one before the end will also be a front post treble, and that's where that odd number comes into play. And the very final stitch is just a double crochet in the last single crochet there. Okay, so you can see that these are sticking out and now continue to be in balance. This is what the back looks like that. So let's begin row number 4. As promised, row number 2 is every other row. So if you look at row number 4, it says as per row number 2. So just turn our work and chain up 1, and it's just gonna be 1 single crochet into each one of the stitches going all the way across. So this row is really, every other row is a no-brainer for these single crochets. You can just whip along nicely, and then we're gonna move up then to row number 5. We're gonna change the location of where the front post trebles are for row number 5 before we start repeating the pattern all over again for going back to row number 3. Okay, so you're just going single crochet all the way across. Do not forget that final chain. Okay, it's right there. Go right into a chain itself, not into a space, and turn your work, and let's do row number 5. In row number 5, the front post trebles do not appear until after these front post trebles here. So it's gonna appear here. Okay, so it's not gonna be before it, it's gonna be after. And when we go to finish this one, it'll be right here is gonna be the last one, and then you'll have 2 double crochets. So let's do number 5. So you're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you're going to double crochet into the next one. And if you look down, it's right above that other front post treble right here. Do you see it? How it's kind of aligning? So the next one is a front post treble around the next double crochet. Okay, so just come up and it just going down 2 rows. So 1 and 2, and there it is. And you're going to go in a front post treble. And it's just exactly what I taught you. So the next one, see if you follow up, is the treble, but this time it's a double crochet. So this is putting those trebles in between. So let's do the next treble. Okay, and the next one is a double. So do you see that? So it started one more in than the other one here, and you're gonna continue all the way across like that. So the last 2 stitches on this particular row will just be double crochets regular in order to keep the balance. I am going to review step number 3 again for you in order for you to see the consistency of this particular pattern. Okay, so I got 3 more stitches left. I just got 1 more treble, front post treble here, and I have 2 stitches left, and the final 2 in this particular row are going to always be 1 double crochet each. Okay, so do you see the consistency of the pattern? So the front post treble started the 3rd one in, and it finishes the 3rd one before the end. So let's turn our work and do row number 2 once again. So turning our work, we're doing row number 2 all over again. Every other row is just chain 1, single crochet into that stitch, into every stitch all the way across. So this is a repeating of row number 2. So I want to show you repeating row number 3 one more time, just so that you understand the repeat pattern. You can see how fast that this particular afghan will grow. Obviously I have a small sample in my hand, but you can see how much I've done already just in the short time I've been on camera with you. Don't forget the final one is into a chain. Okay, so let's move up and review number 3. So turning our work, so this time do you see where these are down here where my thumb is? That's where it's gonna be up here. Okay, so it's just gonna follow up, and then it's just gonna be in between the other trebles that you saw. So to begin, again, row number 3, just chain up 3 to start, and the next one is a front post treble. So just looking down 2 rows, 1 and 2, and just wrap the hook twice and do a treble, front post treble. Okay, and the next one then, if you follow it up, is just a double crochet. So this is now putting those trebles in between the other ones. Okay, just straight down. See, it's not a hard pattern at all. Okay, and the next one is a double crochet. And if you're ever confused, just look down to see what's going on in the pattern. So you can see now that you had these here, and then the next row, which was row number 5, it shifted over, and then row number 3 it comes back. Just like there. Kind of reminds me of a conveyor belt kind of idea of how chains are put together in a conveyor belt. Okay, so you're just gonna continue it along. Again, I'm not really thinking too much about this, to be honest with you. I'm just looking for the consistency of the pattern and just maintaining what's already there. So there's not a brain killer in this. I can see why it's easy, because it really is easy. So the next row is going to be the same as row number 2, which is 1 single crochet into each, and then you're back to row number 5 again, and again you're just gonna do exactly what you did over here. You're just gonna start 1 in. So the final stitch is just a double crochet. So if you can understand this pattern, so you can see it just like here. I'm gonna put down the hook so I can hold it open for you. Okay, so in the first one here we had the trebles all right and almost to the sides. It's just 1 left over, and in row number 5 we shifted over to the 3rd one in on both sides, and then we're back to number 3 coming back out again. So this is how you do the Lush Life blanket. It's really quite easy. Good luck with this pattern, and until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.